A common thread we're seeing in the advisory sessions we have with executives is the following. They've tried the tools, run the experiments, and yet they're not convinced on the real business value of AI. But as we keep talking, it becomes quite obvious. They're thinking about AI entirely in terms of their own tasks, their own emails, their own research, their own deal memos. If you don't think about how your team functions together, where dependencies between people slow things down, or what happens to information after it leaves your screen, you will have the same experience with AI, wondering why transformation hasn't shown up. The gap between personal productivity and organizational transformation is what we're talking about today. And we will be sharing how we work with one of our strategic frameworks at Lumira to help you understand how to approach AI and AI use in a way that actually brings transformational value. I'm Allegra Guinan. I'm the CTO and co-founder of Lumira, and I'm here today with Emma Muller, Lumira's CEO and founder. Hi, Emma.
Hi, Allegra.
This is where our 3 adoption frequencies framework comes in. So walk us through what that looks like and where most organizations actually are versus where they think they are.
We have these 3 different frequencies, as we call them. And the first one and the most basic one is sharpen. And that is where we're using AI simply for productivity. So it's making what you are already doing faster, such as drafting emails or summarizing documents or automating routine tasks. So this is essentially a personal productivity layer, and this is also where we see that most organizations are. The next level or the next frequency here is a frequency that we call expand. And this is where AI starts to change the way that you work. So it enhances the quality of the work, and workflows are merging with AI, where also new capabilities emerges and judgment improves as well. And this requires a redesign of the way that teams collaborate and also how decisions get made. And then the third frequency is a frequency that we call create. And this is a complete game changer. This is where innovation happens. You get new products and markets and business models. But this also requires for the leaders behind this transformation to rethink organizational structure, to rethink incentives in the company, as well as leadership culture. And this is where we see the gap, because most leaders say that they want to create and that they want to reach this innovative level of AI transformation where AI actually transforms their ways of working, but they are stuck in sharpen. They are focused more on the personal productivity layer, and they also relate to this gap as more of a technological problem than an organizational design problem, which it actually is.
And there's a baseline problem too, right? Like you can't measure improvement if you never measured where you started.
Exactly. You need to know where you're going and what you want to create, but you will also never know how good you've become or if your solutions and your ways of working actually works if you don't measure where you started. And that might work until you realize that your token spend is through the roof, or your competitors are launching genuinely good products and services whilst you are stuck in the same place that you were when you started adopting AI.
So it sounds like, as most things in AI adoption go, this is also a workforce question and not just a technology question.
Exactly. The dominant narrative, which you also mentioned earlier, has been subtraction. So the Oracle Klarna way of moving has been fewer people, lower costs, and leaner operations. But that's only one valid path. And this works where organizations are carrying this real structural bloat, and where AI creates a natural moment to address this, which is also partly what happened at these organizations. If you have each worker being very knowledgeable on your organization, on the tasks that they are doing, on a day-to-day basis and they have these skills that they built up in your company, imagine that they become 10 times more productive. You hit this third frequency of AI adoption, and then you can retrain and upskill the people that you're already working with. That creates compounding value. But that also requires thinking that is more focused on skills and traits rather than fixed roles, because those might change with this AI adoption as well.
What's the one question leaders should be sitting with after this discussion?
Yeah, so if every person in your organization doubled their individual productivity with AI tomorrow, which of your current processes, approval chains, and reporting structures would actually need to change in order to capture that value?
Thank you, Emma. And for everybody listening, you can read more about the 3 AI adoption frequencies, the proprietary framework from Lumiera, on our Substack, and make sure to stay subscribed there for our next conversation. Thank you.